Recognizes the next senator. Who are these people almost creating trouble there?
Nako, galit na si
Can you
Senjing
please trace their identities and send them out of this building?
Magtrabaho at huwag konsintihin ang isang spoiled na bonjing. Huwag nang busugin
Spoiled na boy.
ng pabor. Huwag nang pumayag dahil may pabuya. Huwag tayo magpalaki ng buwaya, baby pa nga ang tawag, lulong na. Ano kaya kung yung speaker nyo na lang ang paltan nyo? Kaya nyo yan. At dahil dito, bumuboto ako ng malakas na oo.
Senator De La Rosa.
Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa is recognized.
Mr. President, I vote yes to the motion of Senator Marcolita, and may I be allowed to explain my vote? Thank you, Mr. President. Last June 10, a day before the 19th Congress adjourned sine die, I stood on the same spot conveying my serious concerns on the constitutional infirmities surrounding the articles of impeachment that the 19th Congress of the House of Representatives transmitted to the Senate. I pointed out that the circumstances surrounding the filing of articles of impeachment seem to violate the one-year bar rule enshrined in Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution, among others. Given this patent violation of the Constitution, I made a motion to dismiss the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte. After a long discussion with the members of this chamber of the 19th Congress, I listened and I learned my motion for dismissal was amended by Senator Alan Cayetano and became a motion to remand. The impeachment court then ordered the remanding of the articles of impeachment to the House of Representatives. This chamber also requires the 20th Congress House of Representatives to communicate whether or not they are willing and ready to pursue the impeachment complaint, a requirement which until now has not been complied with. In a sudden shift of events before the opening of the 20th Congress, the Supreme Court took all by surprise when it promulgated their decision on petitions challenging the validity of the articles of impeachment against Vice President Duterte. When the Supreme Court released their decision to the media, many people expressed their views. There are those who celebrated and commended the Supreme Court. Others voiced out their disappointments. Some criticized the decision. The mixed reactions seem to suggest that the decision promulgated lacks clarity. And yet, Mr. President, after reading the decision, I asked myself, is it long? Yes, 97 pages to be exact. Is it vague? No, Mr. President, it is clear as day. According to the plain meaning rule or verbal leges, if the statute is clear, plain and free from ambiguity, it must be given its literal meaning and applied without interpretation. Now, even though the decision of the Supreme Court is not a statute, it still forms part of the legal system of the Philippines as mandated by Article 8 of the Civil Code of the Philippines. Since the decision of the Supreme Court is clear, plain and free from ambiguity, applying the plain meaning rule, it should be given its literal meaning. That is, the articles of impeachment are unconstitutional. The Senate did not acquire jurisdiction, and the decision is immediately executory. Plain and simple. Kaya naman, Ginoong Pangulo, nagulat ako nung ako'y tanungin, susunod po ba ako or tayo sa desisyon ng Supreme Court? Hindi po ganoon kataas ang tingin ko sa aking sarili. I honestly do not place myself in a position so high, too high, that I will be the one to be asked if I will obey the Supreme Court's ruling. Ang nakasaad sa ruling na yon, immediately executory. Wala namang postscript or PS sa baba na nagsasabing subject to your review and further evaluation. As a member of the Senate and as a citizen of this republic, I submit to the authority of the Supreme Court and respect its decision. Perhaps in shedding light on the highest court's duty, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines said it best, and I quote, "As the final arbiter of constitutional questions, the Supreme Court bears the solemn duty to interpret the law, determine its bounds, and clarify its implications, even when it revisits past doctrines or addresses new contexts. This authority is rooted in checks and balances, the very design that guards against the excesses of any branch. Mr. President, the rule of law is the foundation of our democracy. And if we are to be models of upholding the law, then it behoves us to listen and heed those who have been tasked by the Constitution to interpret the Constitution. The interpretation of the law remains lodged with the Supreme Court, and we must abide by its decision. What message would we send out to our people if we, legislators, will not honor the wisdom of the highest court in the land? Are we not, in effect, promoting anarchy? I want to believe that indeed we are men and women of the law, that we live by rules and perform our mandate as elected officials within lawful means. Our people rest easy and feel a sense of security because their Senate has remained to be guardians of democracy. Looking back, the Senate has accepted several Supreme Court decisions in the past. Why should the ruling in this current impeachment case be any different? Is our concept of respect for and acceptance of Supreme Court decisions selective? If that is the case, are we not playing with fire? Fire, mind you, does not always intend to enlighten or illuminate. It can also burn and bring a house down. Much has been said about where I stand, and I understand that my positions on certain matters have always been consistent and transparent. But while the public and this chamber may be familiar with my views, all that is simply driven by what is in my heart. And I say this with humility. My heart has always been guided by what is right, not only when it is easy, not only when it is convenient, but even and especially when it challenges my comfort zone, when it no longer serves our side. Because at the end of the day, it is a matter of principle, not popularity. Perhaps sometimes we ought to protect our democracy, even from ourselves. Of course, the Senate is not a mere follower of the Supreme Court, but a co-equal branch, meant to respect the powers and functions of the latter in its decisions. I trust that the Senate will continue to peacefully coexist with the Supreme Court. Let us not allow this impeachment trial to become a venue and opportunity to disrupt our system of government. I hope this is not the time when we dance differently, when clearly the same song is playing. We must follow the Supreme Court ruling, not because it is the most convenient thing to do, but because it is what is right and just, no matter how unacceptable or painful it may be. And this is why, Mr. President, I vote yes to adhering to the Supreme Court decision. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator De La Rosa. Mr. Secretary.
Senator Ejercito.
Senator Ejercito is recognized.
Yes, Mr. President, I likewise vote yes to adhere to the Supreme
Ito
Court.
mag-best friend ng dalawa na to eh.
Thank you, Senator Ejercito.
In the minority in
Senator
many issues,
Estrada.
the Senate
Senate President.
Senate President Escudero.
Si Escudero, okay. Gusto kong marinig ang sasabihin itong si
President is
Cheese.
recognized
Game.
to explain his vote.
Paliwanag niya, game.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, sa mga minamahal nating kababayan. For many of us, the past 2 weeks have proven to be an exasperating, mentally and emotionally exhausting experience. Both sides have fought bitterly a dialectical struggle to articulate what they respectively believe to be the correct position or view on the issues involved. Passions had run high as demonstrators, whether for or against impeachment, took to the streets armed with their familiar slogans and chants to air their voice on the matter. Various sectors of society, from business, retired military, academe, denominations of faith, offered suggestions for a return to a state of normalcy in the official relations of governmental branches. Through all these, and as early as the time when the articles of impeachment had been constituted, the court was specifically asked, told, urged, and argued to take no action of any kind and form with respect to the prosecution by the House of Representatives of the impeachment complaint. When the present petitions were knocking, so to speak, at the doorsteps of the court, the same clamor for non-interference was made through what are now arguments of lack of jurisdiction, non-justiciability, and judicial self-restraint, aimed at halting the court from any move that may have a bearing on the impeachment proceedings. The court did not heed the call to adopt a hands-off stance as far as the question of constitutionality of initiating the impeachment complaint is concerned. What lies in here, is an issue of genuine constitutional material which only the court can properly and competently address and adjudicate in accordance with clear-cut allocation of powers under our system. The claim, therefore, that the court, by judicially entangling itself with the process of impeachment, has effectively set up a regime of judicial supremacy is patently without basis in fact and in law, because it is not at all the business of the court to assert dominance, judicial dominance, over the other 2 great branches of government. Rather, the raison d'etre of the judiciary is to complement the discharge by the executive and legislative of their own powers to bring about ultimately the beneficent effects of having founded and ordered our society upon the rule of law. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the institution that is the Supreme Court, together with all other courts, has long held and been entrusted with the judicial power to resolve conflicting legal rights regardless of the personalities involved in their suits or actions. The court has dispensed justice over the course of time, unaffected by whomsoever stood to benefit or suffer therefrom, unafraid by whatever imputations or speculations could be made to it, so long as it rendered judgment according to the law and the facts. No one is above the law or the Constitution. This is a basic precept in any legal system which recognizes equality of all men before the law as essential to the law's moral authority and that of its agents to secure respect for and obedience to its commands. Perhaps there is no other government branch or instrumentality that is most zealous in protecting that principle of legal equality other than the Supreme Court, which has discerned in its meaning and ramifications through its application of numerous cases, especially the high-profile kind in the annals of jurisprudence. The Filipino nation and its democratic institutions have no doubt been put to a test once again by this impeachment case. Accordingly, the court resorted to no other than the Constitution in search for a solution to what many feared would ripen to a crisis in government. Sa muli, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Hindi ko po salita mga sinambit ko na ilang minuto. Yun po ay paraphrase at halos eksaktong quotation ng salita ni dating Justice Conchita Carpio Morales sa Francisco ruling na kinatigan ng mayoriya ng mga miyembro ng Korte Suprema, kabilang na si dating Chief Justice Puno, dating Justice Carpio, dating Justice Ascuna, dating Justice Panganiban.
Teka lang, Chis, nagugulantang ako sa mga binabanat mo na yan. Nagugulantang ako, ano ba yan? Anak ng Veteran Garapata. Ano to kumbaga, legal luminary. Dapat nag-oral argument. Dapat ganito. Ito, babasahin ko yung sinabi nyo. Noong, ang tawag dito, De Venecia versus, ganito yung kay Francisco, yung pinanood nating video. Ito yung sinabi ni Carpio. Tapos ngayon, dumadaldal kayo ng ganyan. Anak ng toka. Tostado lahat ng kung tawagin nila sarili nila legal luminary dito sa banat na to. Ito si Chis Escudero.
Ano nga ba itong Francisco ruling na pinag-uusapan natin to? Ano nga ba ang pinagkapareho, pinagkaiba nito sa kasalukuyan nating hinaharap? At bakit ko ba ito tinatanong? Ginoong Pangulo, bahagi ako ng Kongresong nagtangka na i-impeach si dating Chief Justice Davide. Bakit ko sinabing tangka? Dahil pinigilan po kami ng Korte Suprema. In-enjoin at nag-issue ng TRO ang Korte Suprema at ito yung desisyong yun. Francisco, case na palaging sinasite po natin. Ano bang pinagkapareho? Ang aligasyon laban sa nasasakdal noon na si Chief Justice Davide, kaugnay din ng corruption. Daang milyon din. Ang pinag-usapan, initiation of impeachment, na dapat sole prerogative din ng Kamara. Ang pinag-usapan, ano bang definisyon ng initiation na dapat sole jurisdiction din ng Kamara? Ang tanong ko po ay simple. Noong mga panahong yun, nasaan po lahat na nagre-reklamo ngayon at nagko-question sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema?
Yari.
Yung mga maestradong nagko-question ngayon na retirado na, bumoto sila pabor doon.
Aray ko! Aray ko! Aray ko! Aray ko! Chis! Masakit! It's hurt! Anak ng Veteran Garapata. Chis! Ano ba? Nandyan sila sa gallery. Baka ma-atake yan sa heart attack yan.
Subalit ngayon, tila nag-iba ang posisyon. Ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba kung meron man? Klaro ang pinagkaiba. Iba ang pangalan ng nasasakdal. Today, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the very supremacy of the Supreme Court is being called into question, and with it, the very foundation of the rule of law. As Senate President and as a member of this chamber and as a member of the bar, I will not sit idly by and allow this. At stake is the very idea that justice should be governed by laws that apply to all, equally to all, rather than the whims and caprices of public opinion. As Justice Frankfurter once said, if one man can be allowed to determine for himself what is law, every man can. That means first chaos, then tyranny. Legal process is an essential part of democratic process. Whether it's a mob or a minority, bias and prejudice blinds, divides, and destroys. Former U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor also said it best. The law provides necessary continuity amidst our constantly shifting political landscape. It guarantees everyone will be treated equally, whether they are in today's or yesterday's majority, so they know what to expect, whether what they do is popular or unpopular at that time. The courts, Mr. President, with the Supreme Court at the helm, are the guardians of the rule of law, making sure everyone plays by the same rules and receives equal justice. For the rule of law to prevail, the High Court must act as a compass, not as a political cheerleader, impartially applying the law by calling out violations, not swayed by public opinion or political allegiance. Respect for the rule of law, Mr. President, requires all of us to adhere to final or immediately executory decisions of the court, even when there is a winner and a loser, to avoid deadlocks and maintain legal order. Respect for the rule of law does not bar disagreeing with court decisions, nor from forming our own opinions on the meaning and intent and letter of the spirit of the Constitution. However, we must also have the humility to accept when we are wrong once the Supreme Court has already decided. Respecting the court only when you win or when it aligns with your belief is not respect for me. It is plain arrogance, or if at all, a power play. Cherry-picking court rulings destroys the judiciary's purpose. Disobeying the High Court's decision is a violation of the law Because under our Constitution, decisions of the Supreme Court form part of the law of the land. I made these remarks, Mr. President, amidst recent calls for this august body to disregard the Supreme Court's recent ruling in Duterte v. HOR. These calls for judicial disobedience have been aided and abetted by so-called legal luminaries and experts who fancy their wisdom and knowledge of the Constitution as better, higher, more supreme than that of the Supreme Court. Miyembro po ba sila ng Supremist Court? Miyembro po ba sila ng Super Supreme Court? Sa pagkakaalam ko po, iisa lamang ang Korte Suprema. At ayon sa ating konstitusyon, Korte Suprema ang bukod tanging pwedeng makapagsabi kung ano ang kahulugan ng ating saligang batas. Walang iba. Allow me to demonstrate, for example, Mr. President, the legal gymnastics these people have been undertaking. In the past, and I have borne the brunt of this, sabi nila, forthwith ang sinabi sa Senado, ibig sabihin yan agad-agad. Despite the rulings of the Supreme Court that say it is within a reasonable time. Pero doon na tayo sa agad-agad. Sabi ng rules ng House, dapat i-refer ng SecGen immediately sa Speaker. 2 buwan bago niya ginawa yon. Oh, okay lang sa kanila. Hindi naman sila nagreklamo. Immediately po ang gamit, ha? Hindi forthwith. Sabi naman ngayon ng Korte Suprema, immediately executory. Ay, teka lang. Hintayin muna natin. Hindi pa final.
Sabi ni si Presidente Marcoleta, ang ginawa niya, sinabuyan niya lahat ng gasolina. Sinabuyan ng gasolina. Tapos itong si Chis Escudero, sinindihan niya yung posporo, tapos sinabi siya. Anak ng toka. Ibang klase ho ito mga kababayan. Matindi ho mga nangyari dyan sa Senado. Ibang klase ho.
Kapag ka convenienteng gamitin yung mga salita pabor sa posisyon nila, edi okay lang. Kapag ka hindi naman, ay hindi rin. Hindi po ganun dapat yon. Hinihiling nila ngayon sa Senado na ipagpaliban muna ang anumang aksyon para intayin ang anumang desisyon ito kaugnay sa motion for reconsideration na inihain ng Kamara sa Korte Suprema. Subalit tulad ng naipaliwanag na kanina kaugnay ng motion na pinagbobotohan natin ngayon, kung magbago man ang Korte Suprema sa kanilang desisyon na unanimous noong July 25, 2025, meron pong paraan at proseso pa ang Senado para sundin ang bagong desisyon yan ng Korte Suprema kung sakasakaling mangyayari po yan. In the past, it was also said, nauna nagsalita si Senator Bato, bawal daw at walang karapatan mag-motion ang sinumang Senator Judge dahil trabaho daw ng depensa yon. Eh bakit yung mga parehong tao yung pinag-uusapan? Dapat maghain tayo ng motion for reconsideration. Hindi ba trabaho din ng prosecution yun? Hindi naman po pwede na pwede lang pag kayo, hindi na pwede pag iba. Now the prosecution has actually filed a motion for reconsideration, and rightfully so, and not by this chamber. Noon kapag nung bumoto kami para i-remand ang impeachment complaint sa Kamara, pinapaboran daw namin yung nasasakdal. Sinabi ko na rin yan, na yung kontra sa impeachment at pabor sa impeachment, hindi ko didinggin. Na yung kontra at pabor kay Vice President Sara Duterte, hindi ko didinggin. Dahil may rason kung bakit babaeng nakapiring ang mata ang simbolo ng ating hustisya, na humahawak ng espada sa kabilang kamay at panimbang sa kabilang kamay. Dahil wala po dapat kinikilala ang hustisya na personalidad. Sino man ang nasasakdal, dapat pareho lamang po ang ating mga magiging desisyon. Sabi din nila, will of the people daw ito. Eh sino ba si people? Balikan po natin ang naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema.
Sino ba si people?
Ayon sa desisyon ng Korte Suprema sa panunulat ni Justice Malcolm sa Alejandrino versus Manuel Quezon. Pinag-aaralan po ito ng mga first-year law students. Quote, the judiciary, under its powers to interpret the Constitution and the laws, has the duty and the right to declare what the will of the people is as expressed in the fundamental law of the land. Hence, where the acts of the executive or legislative departments violate the will of the people as expressed in the organic law of the land, it is the sworn duty of the judiciary to interpret and to declare that will of the people and the right of the citizen has been violated and or transgressed. Allow me to answer a few more, Mr. President, Your Honor. As I stated earlier, sabi ng ilan, hintayin natin na maresolbahan ang motion for reconsideration. Pero dun sa parehong araw na naghain ng motion for reconsideration ng Kamara, nagsalita ang tagapagsalita ng Korte Suprema at sinabing immediately executory pa rin ang desisyon. Sinahit ko rin kanina ang Section 1, Rule 16, AM number 10-4-20 ng Supreme Court na nagsasabi na ang resolusyon ay magiging executory lamang kapag ka ito'y nagkaroon ng entry of judgment maliban na lang kung sinabi sa desisyon na ito'y immediately executory na siyang nangyari sa kasong ito. Binanggit din kanina ni Senator Cayetano ang Section 4, Rule 39 ng Rules of Court na nagsasabi na immediately executory na mga desisyon ay hindi kailangan maghintay na maresolbahan anumang apela o motion for reconsideration na nakabinbin. Ginagamit din ang operative fact doctrine. Ang operative fact doctrine po ay exception sa rule ng null and void ab initio. Ito po ay hindi rule, ito ay exception sa rule. Gamit po ang sinulat na desisyon ni Justice Tony Carpio sa League of Cities versus Comelec. Ito ang sinabi po niya. The invocation of the operative fact doctrine is an admission that the law or act is unconstitutional. Bago po natin sabihin, gamitin natin to. Aminin niyo muna. Illegal at bawal ang ginawa ng Kamara. Sa parehong desisyon, sinabi din ni Justice Carpio, it will open the floodgates to wanton enactment of unconstitutional laws and the commission of unconstitutional acts and a mad rush for their immediate implementation before the court can declare them unconstitutional. This view, according to him, is an open invitation to serially violate the Constitution and be quick about it, lest the violation be stopped by the court. Sinabi din po ni Justice Carpio sa desisyong Aralio versus Aquino, those who acted in bad faith with gross negligence cannot invoke this doctrine. Hindi po pwedeng pakinabangan nung taong gumawa ng unconstitutional at illegal act ang doktrinang ito. Pwede lamang po itong gamitin ng mga partidong walang kinalaman dun sa ginawang mali, masama o di naaayon sa saligang batas. Ika nga, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands, and he who seeks equity must likewise do equity. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, kinondina din ng ilang legal luminaries tulad ng Felconsa na dating pinangunahan ng nanguna sa impeachment complaint na si Speaker Romualdez, ilang taon lamang ang lumilipas, na hindi daw, bagong requirement daw ang due process. Dagdag daw ito. Mr. President, Your Honors, they should read Francisco again. They forgot that lack of due process in the impeachment process had been raised and in fact was specifically mentioned in the separate concurring opinions. And allow me to quote the concurring opinion of Justice Panganiban. The due process clause enshrined in our fundamental law is a condition sine qua non that cannot be ignored in any proceeding, administrative, judicial, or otherwise. It is deemed written.
So ibig sabihin kasama doon yung impeachment trial. Pagsahain ng impeachment, yung due process. Hindi binigyan si VP Sara. Eh may problema ka.
Into every law, rule, or contract, even though not expressly stated therein. Hence, the House rules on impeachment, insofar as they do not provide the charged official with number 1, notice, and number 2, opportunity to be heard prior to being impeached, are also unconstitutional. Needless to say, the due process limitation on the impeachment process was already discussed in Francisco. May pumalag ba nun? Wala. Yung nagre-reklamo ba ngayon kaugnay sa bagong requirement yung due process, nag-react nung sinulat ito at naging bahagi ng Francisco ruling? Hindi ko rin po napansin. Sinabi din po ng ilang legal luminary, partikular binanggit din ito ni Speaker Romualdez, When the court begins to create rules on how it and other high officials may be impeached, it risks writing the terms of its own immunity. This point was also discussed in Francisco. Ang sabi ng korte nito, illogical ito at non-sequitur. Alalahanin po natin. Hula lamang yung gagamitin din ito pabor sa kanila. Sa kaso ng Francisco, nakaupong Chief Justice ang nasasakdal. Pero sinabi mismo ng korte, hindi bali yan. Hindi namin pinapaboran ang kabaro namin sa pagbaba namin ng desisyong ito. Mr. President, the Constitution establishes a system of checks and balances, not a system of retribution. Threatening the Supreme Court with impeachment simply because one disagrees with the ruling is a dangerous assault on our constitutional order.
Aray ko na naman. Aray ko, dahan-dahan lang, sis. Nasasaktan si Tamba.
The Senate, Mr. President, stands ready to uphold the integrity of the Constitution as well as the institutions created under it.
At kaisa ho dyan ang sambayan ng Pilipino. Kahit na pabor, hindi pabor sa atin ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema, atin hong re-respetuhin yan. Kung nasaan ang Korte Suprema, doon ho tayo dito sa PH Update. Kung nasaan ang Korte Suprema, kunyari magkagulo. Kung nasaan ang Korte Suprema, yun ang susundin natin. Kasi yun mga yan, walang plano maging presidente yun. Di kagaya ng ibang mga mapapil dyan, di ba? Di ba, Risa?
My dear colleagues, we are told that to honor the court's ruling is to betray the truth, that by choosing fidelity to the law, we somehow abandon accountability, but nothing for me could be further from the truth. To disregard the ruling would not only defy the Constitution, it would drag the nation into a crisis it can ill afford. It would erode the authority of our laws, embolden those who believe they are above it because they know it all or simply know better. To those seeking to disregard the Supreme Court's decision, I ask these simple...
Wala pa ba nag-walk out dyan sa mga nasa gallery? Wala pa? Wala pa nag-walk out? Si Conchita Carpio hindi pa umalis?
questions, Mr. President. Again, in light of the Francisco ruling on former Chief Justice Davide, and it was okay then because they did not want then Chief Justice Davide to be impeached. Are you truly for accountability or simply anti-Duterte? Do you truly respect and want to preserve the Constitution or you simply hate the Vice President? Are you serving the nation's interest or protecting and pursuing your own personal ambitions or agenda? Are you fighting for truth or are you simply after revenge? Do you really want a trial or do you just want a conviction? Do you really believe that we are wrong or do you simply think and feel entitled and believe that you are always right? Remove the name, Mr. President, of the Vice President in this case. Apply the decision of the High Court, as Senator Cayetano said earlier, to another impeachable official. Would our positions, would your positions be the same? When I was faced with this situation, Mr. President, I respected the court's decision, even if I disagreed with it. I am still voting to respect that court's decision. As quoted at the start of my speech, Mr. President, the dispensation of justice...
Teka lang, di ho natin napansin. 945,000 subscriber na ho pala tayo. Palakpakan, ibang klase naman yan. Magkakagulatan na lang no? Ibang klase talaga ho. Tuloy natin.
Over the course of time should be unaffected, whomsoever stood to benefit or suffer therefrom. The courts should be unafraid of whatever imputations or speculations could be made against it by those disagreeing. I will not cast a vote that says complying with the Supreme Court ruling is optional. Anyone who will say, I will respect the Supreme Court today and condemn it tomorrow, is not showing fidelity to the Constitution. It is submission to the passions of the day, to the shifting winds of public sentiment that may or may not be just. Fidelity to the Constitution, Mr. President, must prevail even when it is unpopular, inconvenient, or misunderstood. In fact, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, it must prevail, especially when it is unpopular, when it is inconvenient, and misunderstood. Finally, Mr. President, let today's verdict be a stern and unequivocal warning to anyone who would dare use the Senate for their personal battering ram to further their personal political ambitions. To the House of Representatives, I say, do not allow yourselves to be used for the blind hatred and ambition of a few who did things haphazardly, gravely abused their discretion, and violated due process rights under the Constitution as found by the High Court itself. In spite of all these, you expect everyone to roll over in obedience. When we did not, you moved hell and high water to destroy personalities, malign reputations, and tarnish institutions. To these people, I say this: the Senate is not your playground to run after your political enemies. We are not an accomplice in any grand scheme. While others may be willing to play your game, I am not. I will never bow to a mob. I will never cower to the shrillest of voices. Let history, Mr. President, record that in this moment, we chose the Constitution. We chose the rule of law by defending the integrity of the Supreme Court and maintaining the system of checks and balances under our Republican system of government. Let this chamber be remembered, not for the passions we inflamed, but for the principles we upheld. I vote yes to the motion, Mr. President. I vote yes to the rule of law, yes to the Constitution, yes to the supremacy of the Supreme Court in interpreting it. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senate President.
Next.
Secretary will please continue to call the roll
Senator Estrada.
for nominal voting. Senator Estrada is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, esteemed colleagues, more than 190 years ago, Justice Joseph Story warned that impeachment requires a lofty sense of duty, a deep responsibility to future times, as well as to God. His words remind us that we serve not only the present, but generations yet unborn, and that our actions must be anchored in constitutional fidelity and historical consciousness. With that solemn duty in mind, may I address the decision of our Supreme Court. Mr. President, the decision of the Supreme Court is very clear, that it left no doubt nor space for any other interpretation. Accordingly, I place on record my position in adhering to the Supreme Court's ruling, a decision that declared that the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction over the impeachment case against Vice President Sara Duterte because the complaint transmitted to us was null and void ab initio. Bakit natin ipinipilit ang isang bagay na malinaw na wala sa ating kapangyarihan? Nagsalita na po ang Korte Suprema. Hindi saklaw at walang jurisdiksyon ang Senado. Tapos na ang usapin. Patay na ang kaso. Mr. President,
Ang sakit mo naman magsalita, Senji. Patay na nga agad ang kaso. Di daw susuko sila sila siguro habang habang hihiring sila diyan nag-plenary session sila. Yung mga taga-House of Representative, yung iba diyan parang aatakehin sa puso. Sabagay marami naman silang pambili ng gamot.
we must never forget that the Supreme Court is the final interpreter of our Constitution. It is not merely one of three co-equal branches. It is the guardian of the rule of law. If we, the very makers of law, choose to defy its authoritative interpretation, then we commit an unforgivable assault on our democratic institutions, and we undoubtedly invite a constitutional crisis, a breakdown of checks and balances where anarchy replaces order and chaos becomes the norm. Mr. President, let us be clear. No one is above the law. Not the President, not the Vice President, not even the Senate when it sits as an impeachment court. The Constitution is not just an ordinary law. It is the supreme law of the land. And if we betray to serve political passions or popular sentiment, then we betray the Republic itself. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines, in a statement, said that defying the High Court's ruling would, in effect, erode the very foundations of the legal order. And I agree with this, Mr. President. At the expense of sounding like a broken record, I would like to say again that the Supreme Court is the final interpreter of our Constitution. Tagapagpaliwanag ang Korte Suprema ng saligang batas. At kapag may hindi pagkakaintindihan kung paano dapat ipatupad, unawain ng batas, kabilang ang proseso ng impeachment, ang interpretasyon ng kataas-taasang hukuman ang siyang mananaig. Kaya naman,
palakpakan muna natin itong mga magigiting na senador na to. At least, yung mga maestrado natin sa Korte Suprema, medyo masarap sila matulog ngayong gabi. Di ba? Narinig ng sambayan ng Pilipino yung mga punto de vista na ika nga magkabilang panig. Yung panig na pabor kay Martin Romualdez at yung panig na para sa sambayan ng Pilipino. At yung para sa sambayan ng Pilipino, yung pagsunod sa ating Korte Suprema. Hindi sa pagsunod sa gusto ni Martin Romualdez.
Kapag nagsalita ng Korte Suprema, dapat itong igalang at sundin ng lahat. Ginoong Pangulo, batid natin na isang mahalagang mekanismo ang impeachment upang mapanagot ang pinakamatataas na opisyal ng pamahalaan na lumalabag o umaabuso sa kanilang posisyon at kapangyarihan. Sa ilalim din ng mekanismong ito ay may pagkakataon para may pagtanggol ang kanilang sarili. Kaya naman dapat na magamit at maisagawa ng tama ang proseso at masiguro na mga naatasan ng saligang batas na magsagawa nito, ang House of Representatives at ang Senado, ay tumupad sa kanilang tungkulin ng may integridad at walang pagmamalabis sa kapangyarihang ipinagkaloob sa kanila. Hindi na sana dapat maulit ang pagkakamaling nasaksihan natin mahigit 2 dekada na ang nakalipas sa kaso ng aking ama, si dating Pangulong Joseph Estrada. Kung inyong natatandaan, noong impeachment trial ng aking ama, pinagkaitan siya ng pagkakataon harapin ang mga paratang sa kanya dahil pinairal ang pansariling interes at hindi tumalima sa kanilang tungkulin ang mga prosecutors mula sa mababang kapulungan sapagkat nag-walk out po sila. Nakakadismaya, Ginoong Pangulo, na ganyan din ang nangyayari ngayon. Muli na naman nananaig ang pansariling interes. Matinding emosyon at inunang pamumulitika dahilan upang humantong tayo sa sitwasyong sinabi ng Korte Suprema na may malinaw na paglabag sa ating saligang batas. Had we decided to ignore the Supreme Court ruling and proceeded with the impeachment trial, we risk undermining the judiciary's role as the final arbiter of constitutional issues, and this will definitely create a dangerous precedent where future legislatures could just bypass court rulings they deem unwarranted. Mr. President, my dear colleagues, there should be a balance of power among the 3 branches of government, and this representation does not wish the Senate to be in a direct collision course with the Supreme Court amid calls for us to proceed with the trial. I refuse to be a part of the Senate. I refuse to be part of a Senate that defies the law, disrespects the courts, and undermines the very system of justice we claim to uphold. To my colleagues who insist on pressing forward, I ask these questions. If we cannot obey the law, do we still deserve to be called lawmakers? If we cannot respect the Constitution, do we still deserve the privilege of serving in public service? At kung ang Senado ay magmamatigas at hindi tutupdin ang tuntunin ng batas, hindi ba tahas ang pagtalikod ito sa ating sinumpaang tungkulin? Kung hindi natin kayang igalang ang batas na tayo mismo ang nagtatanggol, hindi na po tayo nararapat dito. Mr. President, political will, however passionate or burning within us, is not always the path we should take. There are moments when even our deepest convictions must kneel before the altar of the Constitution, when our desire for action must bow to the rule of law. Our strength as senators lies not in bending institutions to our will, but in bending ourselves to the will of our constitutional framework. Our true power is revealed not when we flamboyantly get our way, but when we gracefully accept outcomes that defy our preferences. Our honor rests in respecting and embracing decisions that contradict our personal beliefs. And our legacy is a democracy that works, preserved by our willingness to submit to something greater than our feelings, our pride, our ego, our very selves. Mr. President, let history show that I chose principle over pressure, law over lawlessness, and country over partisanship. We are not shirking from our responsibility, but to fulfill our highest duty, to uphold the rule of law and to preserve the legitimacy of our institutions in accordance with the Constitution. Mr. President, let us act not with haste, but with honor. Let us preserve our republic, not fracture it. I did not swear an oath to defend emotion. I swore an oath to defend our Constitution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Gatchalian.
Senator Gatchalian is recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, esteemed colleagues, I rise today to cast my yes vote. Respecting the unanimous decision of the Supreme Court, which has declared the articles of impeachment filed by the House of Representatives unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has decided, and as public servants sworn to protect and defend the Constitution, our duty is to respect the Court's decision and abide by the ruling. Napaka-specific po ng sinabi ng Korte, void ab initio, ang articles of impeachment. O sa madaling salita, as if walang nangyari. At immediately executory ang desisyon. Alam naman nating lahat, dapat nating sundin ang saligang batas. Hindi natin pinipili kung kailan natin gustong sundin. Hindi ito usapin ng opinyon o sariling interpretasyon. Ito ay obligasyon, pananagutan at tungkulin natin sa bansa at sa ating mga kababayan. From the very beginning, malinaw at consistent ang posisyon ko sa impeachment. Follow the law. Nung nagtipon tayo bilang impeachment court noong June 10 para magdesisyon kung ang articles of impeachment ay dapat bang ibalik sa mababang kapulungan, I voted no. I voted this way dahil importante po sa akin na mapag-usapan ng articles of impeachment sa konteksto ng isang legal, maayos at malinaw na impeachment trial. Ito ay naaayon sa mandato sa atin ng konstitusyon. Ayon sa Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 6 ng ating saligang batas, the Senate shall have the sole power to try and decide all cases of impeachment. There is no room for ambiguity. Ito ang proseso ayon sa batas at ito ang ating tungkulin. Ang isang pundasyon ng konstitusyon ay ang separation of powers o ang pagkilala na ang bawat sangay ng gobyerno ay may kanya-kanyang kapangarihan at tungkulin. Ang executive, legislative at judiciary ay may kanya-kanyang mandato. At pagdating sa usaping konstitusyon, the final authority is the Supreme Court. Mr. President, esteemed colleagues, this representation knows and respects that we have different perspectives on the verdict of the High Court and on the impeachment itself. Alam ko na marami tayong iba't ibang paniniwala at pagtingin sa batas. Pero alam ko na alam din nating lahat kung ano ang sinasabi ng konstitusyon tungkol sa mandato ng ating mga korte. Malinaw sa Article 8, Section 1 of the Constitution na judicial power includes the duty of the courts of justice to settle actual controversies involving rights which are legally demandable and enforceable, and to determine whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on any part of any branch or instrumentality of the government. Sa isang desisyon ng Korte Suprema noong 2003 sa kasong Francisco versus the House of Representatives, sinabi ng Korte Suprema na the Constitution did not intend to leave the matter of impeachment to the sole discretion of Congress. Instead, it provided for certain well-defined limits and, in the language of Baker versus Carr, judicially discoverable standards for determining the validity of the exercise of such discretion through the power of judicial review. Sinabi rin ng Korte Suprema sa Angara versus Electoral Commission na the judiciary in turn with the Supreme Court as the final arbiter effectively checks the other departments in the exercise of its power to determine the law and hence to declare executive and legislative acts void if violative of the Constitution. Maraming iba-ibang halimbawa, pero iisa ang mensahe. Mandato at responsibilidad ng ating mga korte na tingnan at i-review kung nagkaroon ng pag-aabuso, grave abuse of discretion o di tamang pagsunod sa proseso na itinakda ng konstitusyon. At gaya ng paggalang ng judiciary sa tungkulin ng ibang sangay ng gobyerno, it is our duty to respect the decision of the Supreme Court. Hindi dahil sinabi lang nila, kung hindi kinikilala at nirirespeto natin ang tungkulin nila. In this instance, following and protecting the process of the law means respecting the decision of the Supreme Court. Hindi ito simpleng pagsunod. We do not follow for the sake of following. Ang pagsunod sa batas at sa mga prosesong tungkol sa batas ay isa sa mga susi ng maayos na lipunan at pagbigay ng hustisya. Kapag malinaw ang ating proseso, madaling gumalaw, walang nasasayang na panahon, at mas madaling makita ang katotohanan. Law and order ensure consistency, and they preserve our way of life. Napaka-importante ng panahong ito. Ingatan at alagaan po natin ang saligang batas. It is not just any document or an ordinary set of rules. It is an expression of our collective vision as Filipino people. Defending and preserving the Constitution is not only our duty, it is the right thing to do. Thank you, Mr. President, esteemed colleagues.
Thank you,
Yun,
Senator
sinasunod.
Gatchalian.
Next.
Mr. Secretary.
Next.
Senator Go.
Senator Christopher Bongo is recognized to
Christopher
explain
Bongo.
his vote.
I vote yes, and I will explain my vote.
Please proceed.
Mr. President, I want to register my affirmative vote to adhere with the Supreme Court decision and to archive the articles of impeachment. The Supreme Court has already spoken in a crystal clear language. The court unanimously ruled that the articles of impeachment against the Vice President are unconstitutional. That the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction to constitute ourselves as the impeachment court, and that the decision of the High Court is immediately executory. The ruling is clear. Wala na dapat tayong impeachment na pag-uusapan sa ngayon. This principle of checks and balances of the co-equal branches of our government is the very foundation of our democratic and republican way of life. The separation of powers allocates to each branch certain powers and prerogatives that other branches may not question or interfere with. Disrupt that delicate balance and we shake. if not threaten, the foundation of our democratic system. When that happens, the people's faith in the various institutions of our government will be lessened. God forbid, we do not want to come to a point when our people no longer trust our courts. Sa ngayon, meron na pong unanimous decision ang ating Korte Suprema. Igalang po natin ito. That is why I voted in favor of the motion to adhere with the Supreme Court decision. But let me be very clear. Hindi ko sinasabi na hindi tayo sang-ayon sa accountability. Sa pagkakakilala ko sa mga Duterte, hindi sila tumatakbo sa kanilang responsibilidad. Haharapin at harapin nila ang anumang hamon ng panahon basta ginawa lamang po ito sa tamang paraan. Nabanggit din ni Vice President Sara Duterte na handa niyang harapin ang impeachment case laban sa kanya. Ang sabi ko nga noong nagsalita ako rito last June para isuggest na ibalik ang articles of impeachment sa House of Representatives upang matingnan at masigurong nasusunod ang tamang proseso. I said that justice done the wrong way is not justice at all. Marami namang mekanismo upang mapanagot ang kahit sino mang opisyal ng gobyerno na may pananagutan. Kung meron mang pananagutan, ang mahalaga ay nagagawa ito sa tama at legal na paraan. Mr. President, mag-move on na tayo upang mas magampanan natin ang ating pangunahing mandato.
Ayos. Gusto ko yun, ha? Sen Bong, gusto ko yun. Sengo, nice. Mag-move on na tayo. Ayos.
At ito ay ang magpanday ng mga batas. Batas na makakatulong sa mga mahihirap nating kababayang Pilipino. Napakarami pa rin sa ating mga kababayan ang walang maayos at disenteng trabaho. Napakaraming pamilya ang natutulog sa gabi na walang laman ang tiyan. Napakarami pa rin sa mga mamamayan nating mga nagsasangla ng kalabaw, nagbebenta ng ari-arian sa oras ng tinamaan sila ng sakit, at napakarami pa rin Pilipino ang hirap makakuha ng mga serbisyo at tulong mula sa gobyerno.
Totoo yan.
Kaya magtrabaho na lang muna tayo. Nabibigyan na po ang Pilipino dahil sa ingay ng politika.
Correct.
Politikang hindi naman masasaing sa umaga, politikang hindi naman pwedeng magamit pambayad sa tuition sa paaralan, politikang hindi naman makapagbibigay lunas sa may mga sakit. Let us buckle down to our work. The people expect nothing less from us. Ever since, I am for peace and unity. Nakikiusap po ako na magkaisa na tayo para makapagserbisyo na tayo sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Christopher Bongo.
Next.
Secretary.
Senator Ontiveros.
Senator
Ay,
Risa
Risa, yan.
Ontiveros is
Gusto ko
next
yan,
to
si
explain
Risa.
her
Game,
vote.
Risa, game.
Salamat po, Mr. President. Mr. President, I vote no. The 1987 Constitution entrusted the duty to try and decide all cases of impeachment to the Senate. Today,
Sakit mo sa ulo, madam. Sakit mo sa ulo, nga kayong jurisdiction eh. Wala namang kumukuha sa trabaho nyo na yun eh.
we are voting to abandon this mandate. I reiterate that the Supreme Court decision is not yet final. Kahit paano mo baliktarin. So, make no mistake, this was an act of the Senate. It is our institution which, in the words of colleagues, killed the articles of impeachment. Ang pinanggagalingan ko lamang po dito, pananagutan. Our
Hindi.
people must
Ang pinanggagalingan mo dyan, alam mo ano, yung 2028, talunin mo si VP Sara kung kaya mo.
have the power to make the highest rulers accountable. The process of impeachment is meant to question the powers that be and whether they deserve that power. In short, karapat-dapat ka ba? Hindi po dapat mahirap at teknikal ang impeachment. Taliwas ito sa intent ng framers. It should not be taxing to hold power to
Anak ng tokwa, hindi daw mahirap. Bakit dapat inaraw-araw na natin yan? Hindi na natin linagyan ng 1-year bar rule. Hindi na natin linagyan ng dapat i-endorse, dapat maghain ordinaryong Pilipino. Tapos i-endorse ito ng membro ng House of Hindi ba? Anak ng tokwa. Baklase ka rin, madam.
account. Anything that will make it easier for a public officer to evade accountability should be opposed. Ang hangad ko sana ay matulungan natin ang isa't isa. Tulungan natin ang ating mga kababayan na sagutin ito ng buo, ng may tapang at ng walang paligoy-ligoy. Ma-dismiss man natin ngayon o ma-archive ang articles of impeachment, mas mahirap i-dismiss o i-archive ang daing ng mga tao sa pananagutan at katarungan.
Saan? Flood control? Doon sa 1 billion na ginagas kada araw?
Salamat po,
talaga,
Mr.
oo.
President.
Thank you, Senator Risa.
Ayun lang pala
Tiveros.
sasabihin niya. Kala ko pa naman.
Senator Lacson.
Next.
Senator Panfilo
Lacson.
Lacson
Ito,
is
ano to?
recognized to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Without the words immediately executory and the phrase on 25 July 2025, which held, among others, that the articles of impeachment are null and void ab initio and that the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction over the same, I would have voted in favor of the amended motion because I have always maintained that we must respect and not disobey the Supreme Court. But since there's still a pending motion for reconsideration filed by the House of Representatives through the Solicitor General, I believe that the July 25 ruling is by no means final until it rules on the motion for reconsideration with finality. That being said, I would rather wait, not preempt, the final ruling of the High Court. It is for these reasons that I abstain, Mr. President.
Abstain na.
Thank you,
Abstain. Okay,
Senator
okay.
Lacson.
Next. Ano
Secretary.
pala sasabihin? Abstain lang pala.
Senator
Next.
Lapid.
Ito si Senator Lito Lapid. Palakpakan muna natin. Supremo, palakpakan natin. First time natin maririnig yung pagsasalita niya. Senator pala siya.
It's recognized.
Mr. President, rinirespeto ko
President.
at ginagala ko ang kataas-taasan hukuman. Ang boto ko po ay yes.
Yun! Yan ang sinasabi ko.
Maraming salamat, Senator
Sa
Lapid.
kapunta. Yun na yun. Okay na, sige na, pwede na yun. Palakpakan pa rin natin. At least tumayo. Kala ko gaganyan lang eh. At least tumayo ng salita. Mr. President, ginagalang ko po ang kataas-taas ang hukuman. Ang aking boto po ay yes. Idol talaga, oo.
Senator Legarda.
Senator Lauren Legarda is recognized to explain her vote.
Legarda.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Supreme Court has ruled with clarity. It declared the impeachment complaint not only constitutionally barred, but void from the beginning, and further held that the Senate did not acquire jurisdiction over the matter. This decision, by express pronouncement, is immediately executory. We in the Senate are stewards of the Constitution and the rule of law. Our fidelity must be strongest precisely when institutions are under strain or pressure. To proceed as though the ruling were uncertain or optional would be a departure from our constitutional duty. This manifestation is a commitment to respect the present authority of the court's decision while remaining open to its final word. I cast my vote without prejudice to the Supreme Court's disposition of the pending motion for reconsideration. The court speaks, and at times it speaks again. But until it does, the Senate must not act contrary to what it has already said. For these reasons, I vote yes. I honor the decision of the Supreme Court. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Legarda.
Good job.
Mr. Secretary.
Good job, Legarda.
Senator
Good
Marcoleta.
job, good job.
Senator
Ayan,
Rodante
Senator
Marcoleta is recognized to explain his vote.
Ginoong Pangulo, noong ang ating Panginoong Diyos ay nilalang po niya yung unang dalawang tao, pinagsabihan niya rin po meron siyang isang sinabi sa kanila na para na rin po sa kanilang kapakanan. Ang sabi po niya, kayong dalawa, lahat ng nakikita ninyo na bunga ng halamanan sa inyong paligid at lahat ng mga hayop na nakikita nyo na gumagala riyan, pwede ninyong kainin para sa inyo lahat yan. Ngunit yung natatangi na puno na nandiyon sa gitna, ay huwag ninyong gagalawin. Matatagpo ang kabawalan ng ating Panginoon Diyos. Kaya lang po, meron pong isang ahas na biglang nakialam. Sabi niya dun sa babae, sinabi ba ika ng Panginoon Diyos na pagka kumain kayo dyan sa bunga nung nasa gitna na yun, ay kayo mamamatay? Oo, sabi ng babae. Ay, hindi totoo yun. Ang totoo niyan, pagka kumain kayo dyan, mas lalo kayong tatalino. Ito naman si babae, Mr. President, nakinig. At nung makinig siya, pinuntahan pa niya yung asawa niya. Yun po yung kauna-unahang under desire po, Mr. President. Napakain din po yung asawa. Ano po ang ibig ko sabihin? Bakit ko po nilalahad ang pangyayaring ito? Meron na pong kapasyahan eh. Ang dami pong gustong sumausaw, ang dami pong gustong magsabi ng kaibayong pananaw at paniniwala doon sa kapasyahan na iginagalang nating lahat. Ang ibig ko po sanang sabihin, magpakaingat-ingat naman tayo kung sino-sino na lang ang nagpapayo sa atin. Kung mapapansin po ninyo ang karamihan ng nagpapayo na yan, may pagkakatulad po silang lahat eh. Una, lahat po sila hindi nila binasa ng kumpleto yung rules of procedures ng impeachment proceedings sa House of Representatives. Sapagkat kung binasa po nila yon, malamang hindi po ganun ang kanilang ibinubulong. Pangalawa, lahat po nung yun ay puro paborito po ng mainstream media. Sila na lang po yung tinatanong eh. Pangatlo, lahat po ng yun, walang pagmamahal sa mga Duterte. Ngayon, kung yung kalipunan po ng mga tao na yun, ng karamihan po sila, sa kanila ay nagsasabi, sila po yung mga legal luminaries.
Yeah.
Tingin ko po sa kanila, yung iba ay legal mercenaries, Sir President. With all due respect to the word. Kaya po kung minsan, imbes na po malinawan ang marami po nating kababayan, nagkakaroon po ng pag-aalinlangan. Yung iba po ay naililigaw, nalilinlang sapagkat iba't iba. Kaiba yung mga paniniwala, pinipilit at gustong ipilit na yung pa yung mananaig kesa dusang kapasyahan na po na ibinaba ng Korte Suprema. Kung sa bagay nga po, sa una ko pong paghahalimbawa, Panginoon Diyos na nga po yun eh. Kinontra pa ng ahas eh. Ginoong Pangulo, sa mga abogado po, palaging may biruan eh. Kasi po, sa lahat ng pagdidiskusyon ng ating korte, lalong-lalo na po ang kataas-taasang hukuman, hindi naman po lahat ay agreeable. Merong partidong aggrieved siya, merong partidong masaya siya. Ngunit, sa katapos-tapusan eh, wala po tayong magagawa kundi tanggapin ang kapasyahan. Minsan po sinasabi nga natin kahit pabiro, alam mo ninyo basta desisyon ng Korte Suprema ay nagiging bahagi ng ating mga batas, mali man o tama. Yun po ay nasa Article 8 Civil Code na binanggit na po kanina ni Senator Bato. Nang sinasabi po, judicial decisions applying or interpreting the laws on the Constitution shall form part of the legal system of the Philippines. Wala na po tayong magagawa doon. Batas na po yun eh. Sa akin pong naunang talumpati kanina, Ginoong Pangulo, hindi ko na po ulitin. I will just request that my entire speech, Mr. President, be incorporated by way of preference to be included in this explanation in my voting yes for my own motion. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
President.
you, Senator Marcoleta, for your explanation. Madam Secretary.
Senator Marcos.
Senator Amy Marcos recognized to explain her vote.
Thank you very much,
Yan na.
Mr. President. I vote a resounding yes. Sa hinaba-haba kong pagsisilbi sa Kongreso, sa 12 taon na nanilbihan kami, ang trabaho ng kongrestista, sa pagkaalam ko, ay maging kinatawan ng kanilang distrito o kanilang sektor. Bakit naman ngayon ay naging tagabantay na lamang sila ng humihiyaw na dambuhalang sanggol? Ginawa ng bonjing na armas ang impeachment. Ang dating para sana sa kaayusan ng sistema, ginagawang pampagulo, panakot at sandata laban sa mga kinaiinggitan, kinaiinsecuran ng mga lulong sa kapangyarihan. Galangin naman natin ang Korte Suprema. Huwag tayong umastang Supremer Court. Supremest pa. Wala namang ganun ah. Sa mga kapatid kong senador, paano tayo magiging dakilang mambabatas kung tayo mismo ay hindi susunod sa batas? Ang boses ng Korte Suprema ay boses ng konstitusyon. At kung sino man ang sasapaw sa boses na ito ay isa lang ang tono, ambisyon. Kaya naman, mag-move on na tayo. Magtrabaho at huwag konsintihin ang isang spoiled na bonjing. Huwag nang busugin.
Spoiled na boy.
Ng pabor. Huwag nang pumayag dahil may pabuya. Huwag tayo magpalaki ng buwaya, baby pa nga ang tawag, lulong na. Sa mga mahal kong kongresista, may suggestion po ako. Ito, suggestion lang naman, ano? Huwag niyong masamain. Kesa inaatupag ninyong palitan ang pinili ng taong bayan, binoto at minahal. Bakit di nyo nalang palitan ang tao, kayo naman lang ang pumili?
Aray. Nakakatawa. Ay, Mir, anong ginagawa mo? Kapagalitan ka niya na.
Ayaw paawat ng iba sa kakaflex. Ano kaya kung yung speaker nyo na lang ang paltan nyo? Kaya nyo yan. At dahil dito, bumuboto ako ng malakas na oo. Maraming salamat po.
Paminsan-minsan dapat palakpakan niya si Mangga. Okay naman yung banat niya. Gusto ko yung ano eh, yung bonjing, yung spoiled brat na bonjing. Sakit mo sa ulo, Mangga.
Senator Amy, before the Secretary recognizes the next Senator, who are these people almost creating trouble there?
Nako, galit na si
Can you please trace their identities and send them out of this building? Secretary.
Senator Padilla.
Senator Robin Hood Padilla is recognized to explain his vote.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo. A'udhu billahi minasyaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Bismillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Alam niyo po, ito na po siguro ang pinakamaligayang araw sa buhay ko sapagkat makasaysayan. Ako po ay nagpupugay at malalim na paghanga sa isinagawang paliwanagan ni Senator Marcoleta, Senator Soto, Senator Hontiveros, Senator Lacson, Senator Pangilinan, Senator Aquino, Senator Pia Alan Cayetano, Senator Rafi Erwin Tulfo, Senator Mig Subiri. Ang palitan ng mga paniniwala sa plenaryo ay simbolo ng humihinga at buhay na Senado. Nagagawa natin ang kalayaan at kasarinlan. Isang demokrasya na naririnig ang bawat naratibo. Tagahanga po ninyo ako lahat. At alam naman po ninyo, sa maiksing panahon ko rito, ako ay pro-Westminster. At ngayon, system po, system. Yan po yung parang sa UK. At yan po yung nakita ko ngayong araw na ito. Ang lahat ng mga senador ay gising, ang lahat ng mga senador ay nandito, ang lahat ng mga senador ay nagtatrabaho sa ayon sa kagustuhan kong makita ko ang bawat debate at ang bawat opinion ng bawat isa. Kaya nagpapasalamat po ako. Napakagandang araw po nito sa inyong lahat at sa ating lahat. Ngayon, mga kababayan, gusto ko pong malaman ninyo na ako po ay nagbibigay pugay sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin ngayon. Malamang, ang sasabihin ninyo, siyempre, si Robin Padilla, ang boto niyan, alam na natin. Eh, mabuti po, alam nyo na.
Isa ba itong si Senator Robin? At least, di na kayo magugulat, di ba?
Ang gusto ko lamang pong liwanagin ay ito. Ang nais ko, sana, ay katapusan na nito. Dismissal. Una pa lang po, bago pa lang po kami na-convene, labag na po sa kalooban ko na matuloy ito. Nakita niyo naman po, noong nagkasumpaan, talagang ipinaglalaban namin na politika ito. Politika ito At kailangan ng due process. Pero natuloy pa rin po, nag-convene pa rin. Pero hindi pa rin po ako nagsuot ng robe dahil para sa akin ay protesta. Dahil ayoko po talagang matuloy. Bakit? Sa loob po ng matagal na panahon ni Bonifacio, ni Aguinaldo, panahon ni Quezon, panahon ni Marcos Sr., ni Aquino Sr., ni Aquino Jr., ni Arroyo, Marcos Jr., PRRD Duterte, HOR ngayon, at Vice President Duterte. Hindi na po tayo natapos sa usapin ng politika at yaan po ay pinagtibay ng Supreme Court sa kanyang desisyon na sinabi niya mismo, oo, politikal ang impeachment, pero hindi kailanman dapat masagasaan nito ang karapatan ng tao. Malinaw at yun po ang pinaglalaban natin at kailangan dumaan sa tamang proseso. At yan po ang pinaglalaban natin. Ngayon, mga mahal kong kaibigan, pagkatapos po natin marinig ang bawat punto ng bawat isa, sana po matapos na po ito at harapin na po natin ang mga tunay na problema ng bayan. Katulad po ng sweldo, katulad po ng agrikultura, pagkain, kaguluhan sa West Philippine Sea, sa buong mundo. Ang dami po nating dapat pag-usapan. Total, meron pa naman pong Pebrero. Ang sinabi naman po ng Supreme Court at ang Supreme Court naman po, ang siya naman po dapat na sinasabi ng saligang batas. Malinaw po. Matagal po akong ginawang chairman ng constitutional ni dating Pangulo Mig Zubiri. Pinagkatiwalaan niya po tayo, pinag-aralan po natin yan at malinaw sa konstitusyon na ang magpapaliwanag ng saligang batas ay Supreme Court. Kaya sana po, ako'y malungkot talaga dahil napunta tayo sa archive. Yung archive, binasa ko pwede pala yung hukayin anytime, kung ano man. So, hindi pa rin tayo natapos. Kaya sana po, bagamat ang boto ko ay yes, aray. Gusto kong malaman at mailagay po sa lathalan ng Senado na ako'y may reserbasyon dyan. Malaking reserbasyon ko dahil gusto ko dismissal. Tapusin na natin to. Hindi pa tayo natapos Total, nasabi na lahat. Ilang oras ang banatan. Pero hindi pa rin natapos. Kaya po, mga mahal kong kababayan, bago po ako umupo, nais ko pong malaman ninyo na ang inyong Senado ay tumatakbo. Huwag po kayong malungkot sa mga hindi pabor sa amin o sa mga pabor naman. Isa lang po ang masasabi ko. Tigilan na natin ang politika at mahalin natin ang bawat isa, magkaisa na tayo, pag-usapan natin ang mga totoong problema. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Robin Padilla, Madam Secretary.